Morning, everybody. Welcome to the June meeting of the Highway and Recreation Committee. Attendance was until Matt, Amy, Helena, Beth, Ray, Jean, Linda, last but not least, Lori. You're sitting at the head of the table. All right, so we need approval for the minutes from the May meeting. So moved, need a second?
Second.
Seconded, all those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? None opposed, and that'll be for both halves of our meeting. All right, we'll start with Highway and Parks item, Ray Smith.
Okay, number one, our normal, crews are on our never ending, resident request list. Some patching going on, basin repairs around town, small drainage projects, always an ongoing thing. In between our paving and all that, we try to put together a small crew to take care of these items. So it's a variety of items. Number two, personnel update. So Highway and Parks tentative grounds worker hire. And also we had either one or two more seasonal kids. So the ones that we resoed, there was a couple that reached back out and got internships, which, is a common occurrence. So we're gonna lose a couple, at least one of the second year coming back, maybe two. And we had a couple more applications come in for summer help. So you may see that for the board resolution.
But you're still looking for one permanent.
So we had an employee leave from the highway department, labor class, just about a driver. Went on to other ventures. Was sorry to see him leave. So will cause us a shuffle. So we were down one, now we're down two. So one parks worker will now bump up to highway, which will leave two vacancies in the grounds worker position. Just how it works to keep both departments fully staffed. So we do have a stack of applications, some that we had interviewed before for potentials. We got some new ones in, so we're sifting through and we'll be doing some interviews here shortly. So hopefully have a name, at least one. Hopefully. Parks crews, obviously been mowing in a variety of parks and trim and brush where needed, cul-de-sacs, parkways, triangles at Route 7, many places that we holding ponds, many places. So they've been busy. With the previous rains we had since our last meeting, it's been tough to keep up, but they've been doing a great job and will continue to do so. Number four is a truck purchase of a pickup and plow used in the Parks Department. So this is something that we did towards the end of COVID. We had, this was over a year ago, right? It's 2 years?
Yeah, at least
So 2 years, we did a mini bid, and that's when the chip plants didn't have chips for trucks. So this truck was a spec build, and they never received, although they mini bidded it, they never received the truck because of the shortage of chips and shortage of vehicles. So Beth did extensive trying to get them to honor the mini bid because they did it, but obviously a truck cost a year later, the guy couldn't meet that. So I talked to Beth, we'll return that money that was allocated for that. So we found 3 vendors, western part of the state that have the trucks in stock, and that are willing to mini bid as well. So they're pretty much 3 different vendors have the truck that we are looking for. So upon accepting a mini bid, which we'll do next week, it'll be a short period of time before we get it. It'll only have to be outfitted with the plow and, the strobes and stuff, so we should get it within this yearly cycle. So, the anticipated cost was a little more than obviously what we had allocated a couple of years ago. I have the money in my budget to make up the difference. So we won't need to go to fund balance or anything like that. We have it covered and we'll absorb that, in there.
Good job.
Okay, and that's a lot of work from Beth, a lot of work from Janet, to facilitate this.
Trying to get it on the old bid, but there's.
Well, it was a very unusual time frame and circumstance, and we actually were in contact with the Office of General Service from the state for several months over this happening. Because obviously when somebody accepts a bid, they're supposed to honor it. And even the Office of General Services kind of ended up throwing up their hands because we weren't the only municipality with this problem. And they finally just gave up basically, which sounds kind of sad, but there was no way for them to enforce it. Just because of the crazy circumstances. So, we figured working with Ray, it was much better to just deobligate those funds and move forward, rather than just having them linger out there without being able to do what we were supposed to be doing with them.
So we think the mini bid results will be back next week.
Yeah, next week.
We're hoping, yes.
Okay, and then I'll put it on for resolution.
Yeah. Number 5 is surplus items. There's a list attached to the agenda of surplus items. These are ones that have been identified that replacements were purchased this year. It's on the back of that. So these are the trucks that we ordered in January, February that could come in within a calendar year. We'll put these on so that it's all about timing with the auction. So if we reach out to the vendors and we anticipate that the replacement for this vehicle is coming in and it's optimum time to sell these and get the most money for them, we will do so. So that's why they're on here now.
Do these have plows?
One does. One is a plow truck, a large plow truck. The other is a pickup truck with a plow. So timing with these. So we look for late fall. We anticipate hopefully getting them other vehicles in late fall. So hopefully it'll work out.
Get the maximum amount.
Right. Our system has worked out
Yeah.
great. So we're gonna continue to do that. Yard waste pickup, the scheduled pickup be done in May. Flyer attached also, on the website as well. You know, the normal police bag, can or bundle tied for pickup. Pickup has been heavy this far. Very heavy, actually, almost to an extreme. So we normally run 2 packers with labor ready on the back. So Mondays and Thursdays are our larger zones. Zone 1, everything on the south side of Route 7, Balltown Road, all that. And then Zone 4 is everything on the north side of 7, all the way over to here. So we've been running a 3rd truck with our guys on the back, just to get through. And we have had running 3 trucks. We've been here till 7 o'clock at night picking up yard waste. So really heavy. So just an idea of what we got a massive pile already. We're about ready to grind again. Heavier than we've seen. I mean, there's really, it's absurd to be
A lot
out
of
till.
brush.
No, a lot of grass. There's some brush, but majority of it is heavy, thick, wet grass. So, yeah, being here till 7 at night is not what you want to do. So, you know, even with the 3rd truck, we try to compensate to make sure that they cover, and we're still finding ourselves here late. So just an idea, but, you know, I think our numbers and our opt-outs are pretty close to what they were last year, but just the volume itself has been crazy. Just an idea what's going on there. Number 7, paving. The first round of paving has been completed as of yesterday. Again, the guys did a great job with, and that's on the back of the yard waste one, if you want to see what roads were done. 3 or 4 roads off of, or actually 5 roads off of, Glacier Road in our subdivisions. Becker Street over behind, Dwayne Toyland, Gasner, Leroy, Ralph, and Fagan. These were all done. They finished them up yesterday. And as always, for the crews that go out there and raise hundreds of catch basins, hundreds of manholes. You know, Matt's department, our department, a lot of work goes into these. And as I've said all along, you know, when we do these, we check the infrastructure. We don't want to be digging up new roads. And we make sure everything is right and make all the necessary repairs before we pave. So that's what keeps our integrity of our streets. So a good job by all that. It's a lot of work. So traditionally we go 3 to 4 weeks from this paving, you know, weather permitting, gives the crews, I know Matt's crews have already been out on the next set of roads. It keeps us from having to close the streets. If Matt's crew go there, do their things, and then they move on, and then we come behind, it kind of keeps us so that we keep traffic flowing. When we're both there at the same time as when you can't even down the street. So we've, after all these years, we've really got that system going good. So
Where is the next area?
I can't tell you. I'll generate a list and so we hand out notices as soon as we go over there. We hand out notices with a description of the work we're doing, any concerns for them to call us. We hand out notices within 2 to 3 days before we have commitment from the paving company that's coming in, so that people aren't, at least can make accommodations for traffic impact when we are paving it. So we've been very good at keeping people in the loop as far as what we're going and try to lessen the inconvenience.
Is it gonna be July?
July, beginning to mid-July for the next round. Yep, I'll post it on the webpage and I'll get one sent over to you. On board resolution is the seasonal help and possibly grounds worker. River Road Park update, so we're still working on the parking lot. With the paving going on, we've been limited to what we've had for personnel to get over there. We did have a breakdown on a piece of equipment that is now back up and running. Jamie's working on facilitating for us some amenities for their picnic tables, benches and such. So he's active in doing that, so that when we get it all spruced up over there, it'll be kind of ready to go. So all good things are going on there. Open discussion. So Blatnick Park, I know the group had bought basketball hoops and poles and stuff to be doing. So I think we'll probably move forward with that as River Road winds down. That's kind of a major thing. It's not just backwards, it's poles and upgraded. So we have to take the old ones out, pull all the concrete out, saw cut the courts. It's pretty invasive. It's a lot of work to,
It's, I just imagine.
yeah,
putting
yeah,
a
it's
existing wall.
not just unbolt it and bolt it. They bought poles and everything, so, but that'll be a nice upgrade when it's done. It is not off our radar. It's just a matter of, we don't want to have too many cans open around town. It's better to
Finish
get
something
one
before you
buttoned
start
up
something
and
else.
move along. So that's our plan. We didn't forget them. They're there. We have them on site at the highway. We've stored them for the winter.
Has anybody unboxed that, looked at that? I mean, made sure you have everything you need.
Well,
I mean,
to a certain point, we didn't want to open them and then have them scattered all
Yeah.
over either. We kind of inspected them when they came to make sure that there was no damage. But we didn't get right into having them spread out all over the place. Another thing, the crews delivered all the planters and benches and bike racks for the Knott Street Co-op venture with Metroplex. They have hired a contractor to set the boxes, and we've had them since last year. We did the benches and some garbage cans last fall. And so this is the rest of the amenities for that project, being led by Metroplex, that they're gonna plant some flowers, they're gonna work with the vendors to do placement of the stuff. The original map that we went by when we installed some of the benches, there was conflict with some of the store owners as to, they didn't want it there. We only went by the blueprint. We voiced our opinion to Metroplex. Metroplex kind of took the ball and said, hey, bring us the stuff and we'll work one-on-one with the store owners. So that should be, you should be seeing that, I think, finished up in short order. And so that'll be a project off the books for everybody involved in that.
Did they mention anything about the other trash receptacles?
I
They were
delivered
way
them. They were gonna address that issue. They weren't sure how. We ended up going and removing them few, because nobody was maintaining them. So I worked with them and they said, look, let's just remove them from now. We took them back, we stored them, and now we've returned all items now. And they were gonna deal directly with
the vendors.
the vendors and the store owners, so it's probably a better, it's their project, they're facilitating it, they can do for the vendors, so.
Who's gonna be responsible for empty?
This bus far, it's been Metroplex, so, along with the plowing and all that, so.
Being empty in the garbage? It's.
That was supposed to be the vendors, but that's,
That's what they took. The vendors. So
But
they
that's-
still want to co-op.
that's not really our negotiation to be doing. I think it's properly put back where it needs to be, and those who are involved now will sit out. That's that's exactly why the ball's in their court.
We talked about, and this is what we discussed in the economic development meeting, but I had conversation with both Ray Gillen and David Hogenkamp about the future of creating a business district potentially for this corridor. I mean, it's a long-term lofty goal, but that would be the type of partnership which would potentially help solve or alleviate some of these issues. There's a lot of partnership going on, but then there's a lack of stewardship. Who wants to take responsibility for these?
Follow up on the details.
Yes. So, and the devil's in those details.
Oh, yeah.
So we've been having those discussions, but it's a really long-term potential goal. And there's already, you know, some vendors, some business owners are hesitant to create a business district because it would cost them additional money.
Right.
So there's the tension between wanting amenities and wanting improvements to this corridor and improvements, you know, that could potentially, that would bring more businesses, more consumers, but then the investment that the business owners would have to make to be part of a business district, they're hesitant to do. So, and that's not all of the vendors, but again, that's why it's part of like a longer term solution that would require a lot of collaboration and outreach and conversation. And we're just starting to have those types of conversations.
You're talking about boxes or planters?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, very, very nice quality stuff. They will look beautiful when installed. And I think at the end of the day, no matter, you know, how you stumbled through this, it's a really nice upgrade over there. And it is, I think for all the partners in this, they really got a nice upgrade over there.
But the details of maintaining all
Yeah.
that have to be,
Who's gonna
Iron
water the
out.
plants? Who's
Yeah.
gonna take out the trash? Who, yes. And some vendors are more willing to do that upkeep, and while others are not.
Don't look at me about that. It's not. I know what you're thinking. You're right. Next, Laura had secured, an electric, power tool grant. She reached out to me for buying some small, power charging stations, some small equipment. I think it's a $10,000 grant. NYSERDA, is it NYSERDA? Or it has something to do with NYSERDA, right? So I talked to her yesterday and, she's gonna get me a catalog to look at some of the features that may be offered, through this. And then I'll look through and see what could be feasible or, what we may want to experiment with for that. And then, we'll set up a meeting with, the people giving us the grant and hopefully have a list together of things that, are acceptable and that we'll give a try to. So that's, essentially $10,000 in tools to, you know, if nothing else, it's an experiment of, you know, kind of the direction that we're going and if it's gonna be feasible for what we do, so. I'm thinking small for right now. I wanna see what they offer, but we have bought, over the years, some like, we have a Milwaukee small, pole saw that we carry on our sign truck for cutting small brush around, street signs.
Yeah.
You know, overgrown stop signs and stuff like that, and it has worked out great. I mean, we used to do it with nips or a big bulky, you know, when they got too big, we went with a big bulky, pole saw and, the small battery operated one has been actually pretty usable. So we're looking along that line. So, you know, maybe some small blowers. We use blowers a lot in our street paving, cleaning around basins, pavilions. So it'll be a good trial to see just what's available and, what we might be able to use.
yeah, that's great.
We got it on a grant. Clark had texted me, they had nothing from, planning or stormwater concerns at this point that he needed to bring up at the meeting. He was unable to attend today, so he just gave a brief update. Really no issues there. Anybody have anything for me?
So just circle back a second with the, I'll reach out to Chris.
Well,
I'll reach out to Chris and Jimmy, whatever his name is.
Engine.
And Jimmy, do you have like, for the basketball courts, are you thinking like late summer? Just so I can give
maybe,
him
I have to finish up River
just give him a
Road.
little, ETA. So that way it doesn't.
I'll keep you posted as when, like, when the project starts, and then you can reach out to him.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
That'd be great if you can.
Yeah.
So I did get a call maybe a couple weeks ago about, one backboard was lower than the other, one rim was loose, one net was bad. We did go over there and rectify and make them, we did tighten up the backboards and stuff like that. So we addressed that because I know that's a concern, that, hey, they're shabby. So we went over, we replaced some nets, we tightened up the backboards, we measured them to make sure they were all the same and set them where they belong. So we did address them, so the courts are usable.
There's like over 30 on last night.
Yeah, they get, you can count the water bottles on the ground. I know about how many are there. No, please read the sign, yeah. So I will, give you an update when we start that project.
Thank you.
Anything else, Ray? Highway.
I have one thing, for the River Road project for this splash pad. The contractor, I want him to get going on the sewer, so we need to know where to put the materials, where can we store the pipe to be delivered in the manholes. He's gonna be starting probably behind the pond and working up that tree line towards the site.
So obviously we have the baseball fields that are quite often used with a lot of people, so we can either put them on the outer fringe of the trail that goes around to the pond. He can split them, put some to the left of the portable power chargers there for the electric cars. If he wants to do half
Yeah,
there
he's
to get
he's already
started.
been working, that's where the water's gonna be coming, he's gonna be back by the pond, start.
Okay,
Yeah.
we can go up that driveway that we're currently working on for the pavilion
Okay,
and stage them anywhere off to the
Okay.
right on.
to the right, along the tree line.
Yeah, along the tree
okay.
line. He can do it in multiple spots. It won't cause any kind of danger for the baseball. It's pretty secure back there. Nobody's gonna be carrying the stuff to their car because it would be like too much work for
Yeah,
them.
they're
So
ready.
it'll be all right.
And we'll just make sure that anywhere the trail comes through, we'll leave that open.
Right, just leave that open for the people. And I think we'll be in pretty good shape.
That's good. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay. All right, start with Lori next.
All right, our town pool opening date is slated for Saturday, June 22nd. It's a week later than normal, because of the way the school calendar fell. So we couldn't get lifeguards, to staff. So, and actually it gave us an extra week to actually fix the pool. Thanks to Charlie Bergami, Ronnie Lupi, and a handful of our amazing pool sources. I think we're getting there. I think we're gonna be on target, so. We just have an inspection with Department of Health the end of the week before, so once that passes, we're good to go. The splash pad at Blatnick Park is open for the season and it opened on May 21st. So residents could take advantage of the warm weather. Thanks to Charlie for just jumping right in and getting it open early, because it wasn't supposed to be open for another 2 weeks. So thanks. People were thrilled and it gets a ton of use.
Oh, yes, it does.
Especially when it gets hot.
Yeah, absolutely. For summer programs and registrations have been amazing. Some June programs that we have upcoming are the Wild Turkey Swim Team tryouts on the 24th. The 26th is Lax Camp for both boys and girls from grades K to 10. And outdoor yoga out here on the green is also on the 26th. That's a 4-week program and that starts at 5:30. And I can also attest that in the month of May, Ben Smith, our golf instructor, ran youth and adult golf lessons. Jeannie and I both know he does an amazing job and he should be ending next week. So our driving range is getting a lot of use. And thank you, Ray, for keeping that up because that is not an easy task.
He's been good about texting when the balls are done, so that's makes it easier to coordinate to go out and mow.
Yes,
So
thank you. It's
he,
much
he's doing
appreciated.
his part too. He's
Good.
been reaching out and texting.
Thank you. So on Friday, June 21st, it's International Yoga Day. So our yoga instructor who is doing the classes is hosting a free yoga session out here on the green from 5:30 to 6:30. No need to sign up, just show up and enjoy. It should be fun. I'll be blasting that out as well, just to remind people that we're having it.
Is that rain or shine?
No, just time.
Just shine. Make sure you say it's.
Right, I know, not rain or shine. So we had gotten some good news yesterday. We had applied for the Schenectady County Arts and Cultural Grant for the concerts, and I tapped on the movie nights. This was formerly the SIP grant. Last year we had received $1,500, and this year we received $2,500 to offset also for the movie night. So
Very nice.
yeah, no, thrilled. And so I'd really like to thank the county for awarding that to us because that's a huge help in helping offset the cost of the concerts. And our concert series begins tonight, hopefully, with the Niskayuna High School Jazz Band. I know, we're hoping this goes away. This is the first concert in our series, and the remaining concerts for June, the 13th is Dad Tet, the 20th is the Doc Benson Band, and on the 27th is Loose Change. All concerts begin at 7, run for 1 hour, and are made possible by the Schenectady County Arts Grant, the Niskayuna Highway Department, because they do such a wonderful job keeping our lawn in shape, and obviously that awesome community programs. And I also wanted to let everyone know that, thank you to Julie Lore. This is the first year our concerts are in this little guide. I don't know if you've ever seen them all around town. We're in it. And Jean did a beautiful job making up our little here somewhere. It's us. So we're in the big leagues now. Just our attendance, but this is pretty big. I've already gotten calls about the concerts, and this has been a couple years in the making. So thank you, Julie. This was huge.
It's interesting. You go and. Down. What's going on?
Right. And we're getting a new sign too. I think a new sign. It'd be nice to get an electronic sign. Fall soccer registration is now open. Early registration ends on August 1st. If anyone is interested in coaching or refereeing, they need to reach out to Julie Lore. Farmers market update. Beth, do you have anything to add?
No, we're taking in applications, so that's encouraging. They're starting. We are going to do SNAP again this year. We're actually doing a program that will double everybody's SNAP dollars.
Wow.
As Fresh Connect. This is the first year we're going to be doing that, so that will be something we're looking forward to getting going. And it starts the week right after the 4th of July, so I go to the 6th.
The 6th, yeah.
And it'll run through mid-October this year, so it should be really good. And we've got all kinds of different community organizations already signed up and music and whatnot. So
Awesome.
yeah, it's our sixth
The
year.
cards, just
Yes, 8:30 to 12.
there's some stuff I want to do around here that
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I'm trying to get that painting contract for the
Okay.
front and the side, so
Yeah.
good to know, so I
Okay,
don't
yeah.
have conflict.
All right. We will happily work around anything that you
I
need us to
know,
move or
we
whatever.
just-
Just let me know.
They get it done before.
Well, I try to, but you know, also like lining of the parking lot, we'll freshen up the lines and it's weather permitting, you know, obviously the lot is full during the day, so we either have to do it late or maybe a Saturday, so it may be before that gets started, try to get that done.
To agenda the next. Update or just still plugging?
Just started to put the letters together just to try to get some help financing it. And I have not had my first meeting with Jeff Relation. That was because we're gonna kind of work tandem with that. But we did book a band.
Good.
Doc Horton Band is
Awesome.
in and ready to go. So,
Good.
yes, and that will be, this would help from the DEI committee to give us
Wonderful.
help finance. for
That's
that too.
fantastic.
So that should be.
Excellent.
And I only have one other thing too,
Okay.
is that we do have, Parks and Recreation has their own Facebook page now. So all that kind of stuff, I'll make sure that I put farmers market, and it's getting a lot of hits already.
Yeah,
So,
trending.
yeah. But it's nice because then it's just one place where they can get all their information, what's going on around town, yeah.
We also want to give a shout out to the Girl Scouts for planting the flowers, correct? I don't know what troop it is or whatever, but I know,
They did a nice job.
Aaron facilitated with
Yeah.
them to get them here, so they did a beautiful job and a lot of flowers.
As for resolutions, I have the acceptance of the SIP grant, and I may have just a couple sprinkling of a couple more kids for camp and the pool. I probably will, so if I just have 2 resolutions. And that's it.
We have been working, with a couple of local artists and again with the Albany Art Barn on 2 grants. The one grant was applied for by these 2 local artists on our behalf. And then the Albany Art Barn is doing what they did again last year. Maria and Laura Lee, they received a $5,000 grant. It will provide 1 free workshop each month. And it's pretty, it's a robust workshop, so it's really nice. We just did up a flyer. We'll probably blast that out and you'll find that on the website very soon. Our first one will be June 27th, and it's indigo dye, napkins and tea towels. And it's also kind of like a little learning module, and then the application of the action technique for the art also, which is really fun. So, and these guys know what they're talking about. So it's exciting. We're waiting on the Albany Art Barn. They're optimistic. And we're hoping that that's going to be announced in July. So more to come on that. We have a lot of gardening happening. Thank you very much for everything. So, Highway have provided us mulch, annuals, which is a big deal. And then also the mowing is great. We actually got a call from a group they're called the Daisies, and they've asked to come over and, help plant. So we're going to actually use their help, hopefully, and along with, the other pieces and parts that we have, and let them do their magic, which is huge. It's a lot of work. It's a big help for us. So, but the place is looking pretty good over there. So, it's really cute. We also have those wood benches that you brought us. We have a member who's pretty handy, and he offered to do some volunteer work for us. So that, and we also have those raised planters to the left of the main entrance, and we use those for an herb bowl. So as we fill those will become a cutting garden for anyone. And, but they all needed a little love. So, Mark willingly came over graciously. He's patched, holes or cracks, and he's, shored up the, what needs shoring. And then he's also staining. Yeah. So it's looking pretty nice. So we're really appreciative to him, for donating his time and talents. It's pretty cool.
No, you can't steal one.
You're running my angle.
We have Father's Day this month, so we'll be probably celebrating that on the 13th. It's coming so quickly. August Proctor's is sold out for Tina Turner, so that trip is filled. Water aerobics begins the first week of July. So we're closed. We're only closed 2 weeks out of the year. It's the 1 week for 4th of July, and it's the 1 week between Christmas and New Year's. And so, but water aerobics is going to start, and it's 2 days a week. One's a morning session and one is an evening session, and all of those details are on the website. So, and we'll keep people updated through blasts, weather dependent.
Are you starting that again, the water?
It's going to be the first week of July. Yeah. We got some really good news from the co-op. And we got an email from them, and they have a Roundup program over there, and they chose us to be one of their recipients. So if you patron the co-op, feel free, so inclined, the Roundup program will benefit the missing center. And it's a 3-month
Rounded up yesterday.
It's huge. Yeah, did you really?
Yeah, that's what I thought. I was like,
It's
that's
so
great.
exciting.
So what do you just tell them that?
Yeah, so, a lot of these places, they usually prompt you, the clerks will usually prompt you and say, hey, if, your bill is like $50.75, they'll say, do you want to round up? And they'll say, we're supporting such and such,
Yeah.
and then you can yes or no it. It just makes it really easy for people, so.
Great.
Yeah, it's really exciting. Other than that, I want to remind people, we have our 11 o'clock, Alzheimer's Association is coming up. It's this Friday. We have book club and birthday celebrations today. We have quilling paper art on the 13th, which will be those are always great. Watercolor with Edie and our movie club with Jim's, they both continue to be very popular. And then we have the Indigo Dye class, which is the first free workshop, and that's coming up on the Thursday, the 27th.
And that's from that grant program.
And that's from the grant program, yeah, the first grant program. And hopefully we'll hear more about that. It creates a lot of excitement. There's a lot of people, it brings in a lot of new faces of interest. So yeah, it's really neat. We have hearing checks. Tony came in. That was really great to have her back. That's always a popular one, along with the blood pressure checks. We're going to try and get some sort of a regular schedule with her. So we're still fleshing that out. And then the last but not least is mosaic. We're doing mosaic jewelry on the 25th, Tuesday the 25th. So come on down, come see us, and and all of our information's online, but so best place to find us. I think that's it. Any other questions? Thank you.
Do you have anything
Thank
else?
The only other thing is the fence company reached out. They'll be working on the 2 section of fence by the police station. Yeah, it could be this week, could be today. Met with them yesterday. Yep. Partially.
Be a step in the process.
Bill, there's a question about the next date for the meeting because it would have fallen on the 4th. But if we go the week after on the 11th, it's after finance.
Can we possibly do the 3rd, which is the day before? Because I just know if July 4th is on a Thursday, I'm guessing people are likely to take Friday.
Yeah, I mean, that's great, yeah.
I'm.
Yeah, I don't know why. It's actually on my calendar.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Well, it'd just be lonely for you.
Right, Bill, we could go like either after Matt's or Bill's gonna want to be Matt. Doing it long, Bill.
So the 3rd? You're at 8:30?
8:30. That's how fast you are.
We can do well, it's the same.
Well, it can be short. I just won't do much between now and then and Dream maker, not dream taker. I'll be here at 6:30.
I think that 8 is the best you can do.
They're all talk until you throw it out there, right? 8 o'clock.
So 8, okay, we'll do it Wednesday, the 3rd at 8.
Meeting.
Get started.
It pretty much includes crowd, so.
Okay, good. Now we need a motion to adjourn.
I'll move.
Second,
I'll second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? We are adjourned.
Thank you.